Center. Tonight we have a very special guest, Chaya Spencer. I happen to also be one of her students, so I have had the pleasure of some of her many insights. I've learned so much, not just how to do yoga, but all about the principles behind it. And as many of you know, Chaya has been an Anusara Yoga Teacher for almost 20 years and a yoga teacher in general for almost 30 years. And spent a lot of time in India really getting to know. She had a mentor there and really learning yoga and all the principles, and she's brought that here to us. And so we've all been fortunate to be able to learn from Chaya. So we wanted to invite Chaya to share this evening, some of her knowledge with all of you. And tonight she's going to be leading us in a meditation and also getting us familiar with the 5 metaphorical layers of being. And so without any further ado, thank you, Chaya, from the bottom of my heart for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to you now so that we can all really enjoy what you have to offer.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Catherine, and thank you, Sarah. And thank you to the Krame Center for inviting me here to share this meditation with you. I recognize a number of your faces and want to welcome you, and those who I don't know, welcome also. I'm going to give you a little bit of context for the meditation that we're going to do. Then I'm going to lead you through the meditation. And at the end of the meditation, there's an option to just quietly leave. If you want to put a comment in the chat, you're welcome to. If you have a question, you can also unmute yourself or put your question in the chat, and I will do my best to answer. So the meditation we're going to do is based on a philosophy, tantric philosophy from India. It's a yogic philosophy. And the overriding principle of this yogic philosophy is that everything is created out of one energy. Us, the world, our feelings, our thoughts, everything is this one pulsating energy, which we call consciousness. And it condenses and manifests in all of these different forms, in all of these different ways. The purpose of yoga and meditation, according to this philosophy, is to return to the awareness of that oneness. It's to understand the whole geography of how we're made, and that at the very essence of who we are, there is this experience where we're not separate from anything else. So this philosophy has many, many different ways to explain why we experience ourselves not as one, but we experience ourselves as hugely diverse and each completely unique. So the different ways it looks at how that happened are many. And we're going to look at just one of them tonight. And they're called the 5 metaphysical layers of being, or the 5 sheaths, or the 5 cloaks. And the way that they think about this is like Russian nesting dolls, where you have the outermost doll and you open it up or you go inside it and there's a smaller identical doll and you go inside that and there's another one and so on and so forth until the very central one opens and there is emptiness. So the way these 5 sheaths work is that they are like 5 different dolls that you move your awareness through, starting with the outermost, densest physical body, and moving through 4 subsequent layers, getting deeper and deeper and deeper inside, until you go even through the 5th layer to that place inside where there is the experience of oneness. A lot of the way that we move through these is very mindful. So if you practice at the Krame Center and you practice mindfulness, mindful meditation, it'll be very familiar to you because we're going to use the power of our awareness to understand and be present with each of those sheaths, and then perhaps land ourselves in the very center. So that's what we're going to do. That's the context. And now we're going to prepare for the meditation. So first thing is to just make yourself comfortable. I see some of you are outside. That's great. Some of you are inside. Probably most of you, it looks like, are seated in chairs. Some of you are seated on the floor. So if you're in a chair, just scoot yourself back, or if you're on your couch, wherever you are, so that you're very upright. Your spine is erect. Your feet are flat on the floor, and your ankles are not crossed. They're just firmly planted, steady. You can rest your hands on your thighs, or you can rest your hands in your lap, or you can join index finger and thumb. We call this chin mudra. It's a gesture seal of keeping the meditation energy from extending out, rather drawing it and circulating it back inside. So taking a good steady seat, lengthen through your spine. And of course, if you become uncomfortable at any time, you can always shift and move. But see if you can get into a place physically where you're comfortable enough that you won't need to do that, at least for the beginning. The first of the Russian nesting dolls, the first of the sheaths, is the physical body. It's also called the food body because it's made out of everything that we eat, everything that we take in, both through our mouths, but all the other ways in which we nourish ourselves. So starting there, please close your eyes and bring awareness to your body. Notice how your body is feeling this afternoon. Feel where your body touches the floor or chair, where your feet contact the earth. Feel the heft, weight, and solidity of your body. Starting with awareness in your feet, begin to move awareness up your body, moving up from the feet through the lower legs to your knees, from your knees along your thighs to your hips, from your pelvis up through your torso to your shoulders. Move awareness from your shoulders down your arms to your elbows, and from your elbows down the forearms to the hands. Feeling where your hands rest either against each other or against your lap, your legs. Feeling the weight, the warmth. And then draw awareness back up the arms to the chest, the shoulders, through the neck, and into the head. And then use this quality of awareness to feel your entire physical body all at once, from head to toe, from front to back, from side to side. Feel your body. This outermost sheath. Probably the easiest way we relate to others through this body, through all of its senses, all of its capacities. And now take your dominant hand and place it over the left side of your chest, over your heart, the physical organ of your heart. And see if you can place your hand in such a way that you can feel the heart beating in your chest against your hand. the life blood of this body. The vital organ. And as you feel the beat, envision your heart there in your chest, pumping. And maybe you see the heart as the anatomical organ, or maybe you see it as a heart the way you draw a heart. But just for a moment or two, connect to your heart. And then release your dominant hand back to your lap or your thigh, wherever it's resting. And see if you can feel the residual pulsation of your heart. This outermost sheath of the physical body contains all the blood, bones, organs, hormones, cells, everything that makes it up. Now we'll move to the next sheath, the next layer. Moving in through the body, we come to the breath, to the energy body. The energy body is a body that interpenetrates the physical body. And it's through this energy body that the vital force of life moves. The breath is the vehicle that carries that vital force. So every time we breathe in, we breathe the vital force in. And every time we breathe out, we breathe the vital force out along with the breath. The energy body can be sensed almost as a gentle tingling all throughout your physical body. And the breath and the energy body are one of the ways that we can connect more fully with that sense of oneness. In yoga, we often talk about how, as the universe breathes out, we breathe in. The universe's exhale is our inhale. And our exhale is the universe's inhale. And that when we fully connect to that awareness, we no longer breathe ourselves, but rather experience the universe breathing us. Sit for a few moments and see if you can allow this sense of the universe breathing you. That each time you inhale, you receive in the gifts, the vital force that is all around us in everything. And that you take it in and it becomes part of you, and then you breathe out and part of you becomes part of everything else. And as you breathe or feel that you are being breathed, feel how that moves your awareness deeper in. And so we move deeper into the next sheath, the third sheath, the mind sheath, the mental covering. And it's here in the mental sheath that exist our thoughts, our fantasies, our daydreams, our imagination, everything that exists in the mind. Become aware of whatever thoughts are moving through your mind. And rather than becoming involved in whatever those thoughts are, just watch them. Just observe them like clouds passing across the sky. Different shapes, different sizes, different emotional intensities attached to them, different stories. Just thoughts passing one then the other. On the surface, we have our thoughts, and yet there are even deeper currents, our subconscious thoughts, our past impressions, our habits, our ways of responding and being that are so deeply ingrained they become invisible to us. Invisible like the currents of wind that blow the clouds of thoughts. As you watch the thoughts crossing the sky of your mind, perhaps shift even a little deeper to those impressions, those grooves, not through thinking, but becoming even more sensitive, even more aware. Having moved through the physical body into the breath body, into the mental body, we now move into the wisdom body, the wisdom sheath that covers our true essence. The wisdom sheath is that part of you that knows. Is that part of you that senses truth. It is your deep, abiding intuition. It is the knowing that comes not from book learning or even from life experience. It is the knowing that is an inherent, deep, abiding part of your being. It's the part of you that is able to sit back and observe the other three sheaths, to observe body, to observe the breath, the vital force, to observe your mental functions. We call it witness consciousness. The awareness, the consciousness that is able to witness, able to watch everything else. See if you can become aware of your awareness, of that deep layer inside of you that is able to witness everything else that's going on, every other part of your being. Now we'll move even deeper. The fifth sheath is called the Bliss Sheath. It's the understanding that our innate nature is joyful, is blissful, not in the way that we experience joy when something delightful happens, not in the way we experience contentment even, but a sense of deep, abiding bliss that isn't related to any external trigger. It is simply the nature of who you are. Nothing needs to happen. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. There is nothing that makes you aware of that bliss body except the turning in. And so as you turn even deeper in, perhaps you're able to touch that innermost part of yourself that is beyond your body. It's beyond your breath. It's beyond your mind. It's beyond your experiences in this life. It's beyond what has happened and hasn't happened. It is the innermost essence, joyful, blissful. There isn't actually a really good translation for the Sanskrit term, but we use the word bliss. And as you look inside, perhaps you're able to touch it. And perhaps you're more comfortable touching one of the other sheaths, resting your awareness in your physical body, or resting your awareness on your breath, or resting your awareness in your thoughts, or resting your awareness in that witness consciousness, your wisdom. Wherever you are most comfortable to take the next minute or two, rest your awareness there. Even as we look at all 5 sheaths and explore them internally, know that even the bliss sheath is still a covering. It's still a layer, a very thin layer, but still a layer over your essence. When we open up the last nesting doll, we come to the empty space or the full space. That space is connected to every other space, every other thing. It is the oneness. And when we turn inside so deeply and penetrate through all the other layers of our being and come to that innermost essence beyond even the bliss sheath, then the experience of oneness with all things is available to us. And from that deepest innermost space, then we can perceive all the other layers of our being, every sheath, as part of that oneness. And we can embrace the whole of who we are, every part, every layer. And in embracing every layer of ourselves, we can embrace every layer of everyone else, everything else, this whole vast, magnificent universe pulsating as different expressions of the one energy. You're moving now from wherever you have landed and whatever sheath you find your awareness at present. Begin to move from the inside back out, from that deepest level of oneness to the bliss sheath, from there to the wisdom, intuitive sheath, from there to your mind sheath, from there returning to the breath sheath, and finally bringing awareness back into your physical body, knowing that you contain all of these layers and all of these levels. They are all part of you. This meditation and this practice is one way out of so many to connect to the essence of who we are, which is the essence of everything else. Begin to deepen your breath. Begin to move your fingers and your toes wherever they are. Keeping your eyes closed, turn your head left and right. Sense the space around you, whether you're seated in a room or outside. And then join your palms together in front of your heart. Bow your head and honor all that you are, all that everyone is. Lifting up your head, gently open your eyes. Namaste. So you're welcome to just quietly leave, or if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat, whatever you feel called to do.
Chaya?
Mm-hmm.
Chaya?
Yes, Lois.
Can you repeat the last statement you made, that the essence of who we are is the essence of everything else? Was it something like that?
Something just like that.
Okay. You said it so sweetly, though. So nicely.
Yeah, the essence of who you are is the essence of everything.
Everything.
I don't remember exactly what I said. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. The essence of who you are is the essence of everything. Beautiful.
They're not different, in other words.
Right. No. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming, Lois.
Oh, I couldn't wait.
Good.
Thank you, Chaya.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
I'll
Chaya.
just-
I unmuted
You're
myself.
so welcome.
Catherine, you know what really resonated with me early on in the meditation? I just immediately connected to the notion of the universe's exhale is our inhale. For me, that felt so powerful. And throughout the whole meditation, as I was breathing, I felt this ebb and flow, this back and forth in a different way than I normally feel my breathing. And almost as if there was a sheath that I was pushing against on my exhale, and that it was pushing back against me on my inhale. So it was really, really nice, very different. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Kat. Amazing.
Thank you, Chaya. That was beautiful.
You're welcome, Kathy. Thank you for coming. All right. Well, have a wonderful evening, everyone. I send you off with my love and Godspeed. Thank you to Catherine and Sarah and the Krame Center for the invitation and for all the beautiful, good work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you very much. Much love.
Yes, thank you all for coming.
Thank you. And
It
thank
was
you.
such a joy to have you, Chaya. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Kat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Kathy, thank you, Kathy, very much.
Thank you, Jyoti. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Again, Kathy. Thanks again, Chaya.
You're welcome.
Thank you.